My name is Connor McDowell, and today I will introduce a culture that I've grown up around and grown to admire and appreciate, that being Chicano culture. Growing up in LA, California has given me a chance to learn about another culture, one that is often forgotten about. Along with this culture, I will be sharing the importance of communication and the significant impact it has on Chicano culture. And looking at this picture, what do you see? You may see a lowrider. When seeing a lowrider, what do you think? Well, you and I may think of a beautiful, polished car. Chicanos see tradition, history, and family. They see the Chicano movement. A few topics that will be discussed today is the cultural history, data, cultural values, positive and negative stereotypes, and the communication as well as its impact on workplace of Chicano culture. An introduction to the culture. Commonly mistaken or miscategorized as Latinos, Chicanos represent a culture that is primarily seen in the western United States. Chicanos are Mexican American citizens that were specifically born in America. Over the course of American history, Chicanos have faced judicial mistreatment, police brutality, and violence against Chicano cultural identity. This newfound context and establishment of the topic is important to expand and better educate viewers on the cultural group as well as the movement that was made famous. The term Chicano came into popular use by Mexican Americans in the 60s as a symbol of pride. The Chicano movement was a strong political and cultural presence in America in response to years of social oppression and discrimination. According to Carlos H. Arce, writer of A Reconsideration of Chicano Culture and Identity, the key years of the movement are 65 to 75. Chicanos represent 11.3% of all the United States population, as well as 61.5% of all Hispanic and Latino Americans. In discussing the cultural values, it is important to highlight their awareness, both their political awareness as well as their social, educational, and political awareness. They highly regard commitment as well as commitment to the Chicano community. They highly value their family as well as the family dynamic. They have tradition in their families that are followed to a T. When specifically discussing Chicano entertainment, as stated in the image of the Chicano and Mexican United States in Chicano cinema, an overview, Gary D. Taylor details that as Mexican cinema is one of great importance and cultural significance. Furthermore, many Chicano homes may resemble one another in regards to their architecture. Some positive stereotypes include the existence of the macho male figure. They're known for being extremely hardworking and family-oriented, as well as having strong religious beliefs, more specifically in the religion of Catholicism. Another topic is negative stereotypes. Again, you see macho male. As stated by Alfredo Miranda of the Chicano family, a reanalysis of conflicting views, the macho male has been proven, due to its rigidness, to have negative consequences on the development of Mexican American children. Furthermore, it's known for hypersexualization of women, including young girls. Additionally, they're falsely flagged as illiterate criminals, overweight, and that they often do not value individual achievement. One thing that cannot be ignored is the internalization of years of oppression. They have a hard time identifying themselves as anything other than Chicano. They feel like they're in between both groups, Mexicans and Americans, and feel that they belong to neither. With this knowledge known, it is important to fully understand its standards of communication in addition to styles of communication. In discussing communication, their superior communication is strict, rigid, and detail-oriented. Subordinate communication is respectful, task-oriented, and empowered by subordination. Their lateral movement is old-fashioned, in-person communication, or traditional communication. Chicanos respect their elders and superiors, which often makes them agreeable and liked employees. This likability leads to great relationships with subordinates or other employees and an atmosphere of friendliness. However, due to this group's assimilation with traditional American values and behaviors, lateral movement mirrors any other American. For example, older Chicanos will prefer in-person meetings or phone calls, whereas younger Chicanos may prefer Zoom, FaceTime, or email. Verbal or nonverbal messages. Like stated before, this group's integration and assimilation in the United States, as well as a cultural pressure to fit into America. This group has learned to emulate a traditionally American and verbal nonverbal cues. They share many nonverbal messages with any other American citizen, such as a facial expression or a statement of eye contact. In looking for a difference between Chicano and non-Chicano colleagues, a tip for identification may be words that can help clarify. To explain, Chicanos may use words that they have grown up using in their often Spanish-speaking household. Household items that white Americans learn growing up speaking English are instead replaced by Spanish words or a mix of the two languages, often labeled as Spanglish. Some interpersonal strategies. Cognitive styles and interpersonal strategies are proven by data to arrive at age 5 of childhood in Chicano households. Despite years of prejudice and standards that kept this group uneducated, they show a high value for education, which can be seen in the growing graduation rate in Chicano populations at higher education institutions. Mothers instruct a behavior that fosters an ability to act autonomously regardless of external ferrets. They're proven to show field independence and the ability to cognitively restructure the present beginning at age 6. They have great adaptability and collaborative skills. Concepts of teamwork. This culture's behaviors and tendencies reflect those of common Americans. They're efficient in group and independent exercises and are a proud member of the working class. They tend to work well as a team due to this, but can also excel in independent exercises. Their behavior mirrors American culture, but their mindset comes from an immigrant family, in other words. Workplace customs and traditions. Many Chicanos have faced issues with environmental awareness, especially business owners. Due to their strong value tradition, they were not raised on recycling, and as a result, in LA, I'm not sure about other locations, Chicano business owners have been punished due to their inability or choice to not recycle. Furthermore, they have a great sense of pride in hiring Chicano employees, as many Chicano business owners will either only or mainly hire Chicano employees. It is important to state the educational oppression that Chicanos faced in the 60s and 70s, which caused the Chicano movement. There was drastic efforts to keep Chicanos uneducated by the United States government. With the introduction and history of the culture, as well as the culture's communication, it is clear that it is independent from both cultures that they share, Mexican and American. Chicano culture is one that is both distinctive and unique. While they share many behaviors with both American and Mexican cultures, their sense of individuality, as well as their success in the United States, proves them to be a highly motivated culture.